of the benefits of social marketing are it's global. There's a whole conversation going out there, and it's up to you if you want to join it or not. I also think it's an opportunity for two-way communication, which, in traditional public relations, we are actually talking to our audience, not with them. Some of the, drawbacks are it is new, so people don't feel totally comfortable with it yet. And also I hear a lot of people say, well, that's not for me. That doesn't pertain to me. That doesn't pertain to what I'm doing. That's for a business, or that's for someone like you, Casey. But really, it's for everyone. You just have to figure out how to use it to your advantage. There's really, I think, two methodologies for communicating with people on social media. One is the broadcast message, here's what I'm doing, check out my new blog site. And then one is conversations, which I think that's really important for people to remember. That's how you spark interest. That's how you get feedback. That's how you get people talking to you. So, you may see something, somewhat controversial on the news, put it out there. Let people, have that conversation with you. So really, I think the theory is to categorize your messages in those two main categories. And I just did a seminar on social media last week for a group of fertilizer professionals, and I started off by saying, Facebook isn't just for kids. It's not just for college kids anymore. You have the whole Gen Y, you have the millennials who are on there. They're your future audience, so you need to get out there and be there by the time they get there. Even for people, the older generation, they are now coming on to the social media as well. And I tell people, 15 years ago, you probably didn't think you needed a website. You probably thought, well, maybe that's not the best way for me to advertise. I have a store, so why do I need, something on the internet? So I think the professionalism comes from the person and how they portray themselves. But, there's still an opportunity there, and people still need to be there. I think that's all very important, is how you portray yourself on social media. What we're telling kids now is, something you put up on social media site in high school, that's going to stick with you for the rest of your life. So, people can capture that and stick with it. So it's very important for either a person and or a business to pay close attention to how they're portrayed. But, I'm dealing with a client right now, and, one of the first things I say is, who's your target audience on social media, and then what do you want to accomplish? Do you just want to build a fan base? Do you just want to do contests and get people engaged? Do you want to inform them about nutritional information? Do you want them to know more about the environmental practices of your operation? So what really, hone in on what you really want that audience to know, who the audience is, what you want them to know, and then that will help you determine what message to broadcast to them. I think we often look at social media and say, oh gosh, this is changing how we communicate with our audience. And we really need to think about, how does our audience want to be communicated with? And one of the facts that supports that is that 90% of people say that they make major decisions, whether it's goods to buy or issues, people to vote for, by word of mouth. And one of the ways that you can have that two-way communication with people and develop word of mouth buzz is by social media. So I think that's really important that we look at that. I think without a doubt the ag industry should absolutely be involved in social media. There's a whole conversation going on in the world. It's a global conversation. And if you're not there, someone else is going to be telling your story for you. So agriculture has, as we all know, a very good story to tell. They just don't do the best job telling it all the time. And social media is a very good way to get that message across to people. I think we were really excited to find a service. You go to Ning.com, and they have a service where you can develop your very own social networking site. So centered around an industry or business, say just your friends, or maybe you had a trip and you guys want to connect that way. So we did getawaygirlconnect.com, and we have probably about 50 people on there now who have profiles. And what's really neat is that, for my business, women who are traveling, say you're going to Chicago, you can connect with someone who lives in Chicago or has been to Chicago, and say, hey, where should I grab a bite to eat, or where should I stay, or where's a safe part of town, or what should I avoid? So there's a lot of good information that can be transferred in your own social networking site if that's what you prefer.